Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Let's Megamek with me, the questing truck. It's been a minute here. I've had illness, then I had my entire audio stuff go kaput. I've got a new mic. Hopefully, you can hear a difference because it took me a while to get this all set up. So, this episode, we're going to kind of finish up the in between section here. Actually get rolling on some stuff. I'm going to kind of pop in various places. I want to talk to you about some stuff because I'm using footage that we recorded. Well, I say we, but that was recorded back. Well, you can even see on the screen here. You can see I was recording this back on September the 8th. So I've been poking around here and there, but it just took so long to actually get a lot of those episodes out. We are here about 2 months later. Hopefully, we're going to get stuff going a little bit faster now that these new recordings are done, but because we are using this old footage, and also I'm just trying to get things rolling again. This episode's not going to have any of the cinematics I've been doing. I'm going to keep doing those, but for now I think it's just better just to get things going again, get going. So I'll stop rambling here for now, and I'll get back into the episode. We should have advanced the day, so see you then. Well, okay, never mind. As I was starting to look through this footage, I noticed stuff I want to go ahead and just probably cut out here. I'm starting to set up our lances, some of our new pilots, getting mechs sorted into new lances. I changed this several times through this recording. So I'm going to cut this particular section out. I'll probably still do a little bit of it here later. But at the end of the video, I'm going to actually show you what I ended up with. And that isn't even going to be the end of it. We had one of you viewers named Tank Guard, really wrote a really long and well thought out piece on like how we might want to sort our unit, what we might want to look out for, and I want to actually go through that a little bit more in depth, but we're not going to do it in this video. A problem we're going to run into here is I'm actually, at the end of this video, spoilers, we are going to set up a new battle, and some of my units are locked because they're assigned to that battle. So we'll get to that here at the end of it, but I can't really give it the attention it deserves because I can't look at my mechs properly. So, yeah, I'm assigning players. And another thing I wanted to mention is I have made a decision of what I'm going to do on the rank structure. I think I was just overthinking it way too much. I want to simplify it quite a bit, but I haven't actually written it down yet, what I'm going to do, nor have I changed it inside Mech HQ. So more than likely, after this next battle, we'll kind of revisit that as well. I'll make it easier. I don't need all the stratification that what I chose. That's overkill for what we're doing. So let's go ahead and move on into the first day's repairs section. So I've advanced a few days here. We've got some repairs done. We've kind of got things sorted out for the most part. I've added some personnel even. I've been kind of keeping a sharp eye on the personnel market. Some people come across not so great. Other ones looks pretty good. But in the repair bay we see here, we've pretty much got this cleared out. What's left, I've got to finish fixing this Wolverine. I got to reattach the arm and then put all the parts back in it. Apparently this failed, and I need to fix the cockpit on this one. And over here, we're still trying to fix the gyro and the leg. Replace the leg, and this is the armor for the leg. Okay, yeah, and then put the leg back on this locus. But other than that, this is the only other kind of weird one. It's one of the Shadow Hawks. I believe it's the one that's in Wolf Lance. And I can put the armor back on it, but I can't fix it because the shoulder has been damaged, as you can see down here. And it's down to 4 points of damage as opposed to 9 total. And I've been trying to kind of going back and forth in my head whether or not I want to just put the armor on it and let it go, because the thing is the left arm doesn't have any weaponry on it, as you can see down here. It also doesn't contain any kind of equipment. But I do tend to, with the Shadowhawks, like to kind of get in and melee and punch a little bit. So I think for now, I'm actually going to go ahead and let's go ahead and fix the armor, and it can just be what it is. It'll show up as damaged in the Wolf Lance, but this Wolf Lance is ready to go. actually going to go back to the briefing room. And I think I'll put them on defend this time. That gives us a third unit for this. I still got our scout unit, which I just finally fixed the Mercury, which brings another important point. He's still a little hurt. He'll be healed up in 4 days. So I'm not going to try to deploy the recon lance until he's actually fully healed. But another little wrinkle I found out about the Mercury, just didn't really occur to me at the time, is it uses ferrofibrous armor, which I had because I started with this mech. I actually started with a little bit of a stockpile, but I am very short on that, and I can't really easily replace that. Let's say here how much I've got left. Armor ferrofiber. I've got 11 points worth left. So we've got to be really careful on all that. Apparently we have some damaged AC5 and actuators here. Can I repair that from here? Apparently I can. But anyway, so we got to really be sparing with this the Mercury. It is a nice little mech, but it's going to be very hard to maintain. We're probably going to end up at some point needing to mothball it. Hopefully we won't lose it, but mothball it and only to bring it out probably when we actually get supplies to actually maintain it. Other than the ferrofibers and the mask, everything else is pretty much standard. So I don't know what the quirks are on the... I was getting ready to look at that. Where is the hangar here? Looking for the Mercury. You're here. Let's say here. Seems like there should be a place I could actually take a look at this thing. Anyway, personnel-wise, we still got plenty of people that's hurt. I did add in. I don't remember if I did it last episode, but I did add in some of the defectors. I don't remember if I looked at all of them. I don't believe so. These I'm probably not going to keep, even though this was interesting having the spacecraft gunnery. But as soon as they're healed up, which still won't be too much longer, you still got a little ways to go, and you have 12 days to go. I'll release this prisoner once that's an option, once she's healed up. But everybody else is still on the mend. I didn't mean to. Active personnel. Let's see. Scorpion here has 6 days left on her concussion. Bonnie has 3 days left, so we should be fine. But let's take a look at what we've done for the order of battle. Sheriff Lance has changed slightly. The only real difference is I've got Sergeant Pongwa here in the Osel. He is the elite pilot with a Forest Ranger terrain mastery. He's going to be an amazing pilot for this. That's going to round out Sheriff Lance. Wolf Lance, we've moved the Trebuchet down here from that Lance, and what did we take out? We took out the Dragon. Okay, yeah. I kind of like this. This is a very specific 55-tonner. The Trebuchet, is it 50 or 55? I think it's 50. Yeah. It's easy to maintain too. That was nice on the Mercury. The Mercury is also as easy to maintain. That made that the rolls on that very easy. Down here, I've got a different pilot in the Locust. I've got, I haven't given her a name yet, but she's a really, really interesting pilot. Has a forward observer, also some tactics, so she has some command potential later on. But she gets bonuses with spotting, but right now we don't have anything to spot for her. But in the future, assuming she survives, she will be that. I've also put Corporal Silva here. I believe he was one of the captured pilots. But has a little bit of a loyalty issue. Yeah, Free Worlds League age 2. I'm pretty sure. Matter of fact, you can see here recruited in the 11th. So, yeah, and I must have recruited them while we were here last time. Going down to Greenhorn Lance. This is our new training lance, and I have Lieutenant Junior Grade Valentorfine as the commander. She has very good loyalty. I'm going to say story-wise, basically Boss Lady saved her life when Steiner was running around executing everybody on the field. So she's only got 3 more days to heal up on her wounds, but she's going to be ready to go. And I've put Senorita in a Stinger. I've got Scorpion in a Stinger. I've got Dreamer here in a Stinger. And I kept her in a Dragon. I've got Savage in a Stinger. And I've got Collins in a Locust 1E. This Locust is still being repaired. I think both Locusts are still being repaired. The other one isn't in a unit, I guess. Oh no, it's here. It must be finished. Okay. Then I've created a new lance down here called Bison Lance. This I've got it led up with Lieutenant Faruqi and Thunderbolt, and I believe he is the veteran. Yeah, 3 tactics, tactical genius, somewhat reliable. 2-3. I believe that makes him a veteran. I've put the Wolverine with Sergeant Cabanes, which I believe is a Free Worlds League guy. Then we've got the Shadowhawk 2H, and I've got the Hermes, both in some new pilots aboard. She has potential for tactics. That's interesting. Interesting to know for the future. Other personnel, I just hired 2 more admin. One logistics, who is ultra green, so she's frankly a recruit. Let's go this by rank. I found a good vehicle driver. And I don't think the Scorpion requires. I can check. Just show me tanks, please, and I want to look at its status. Okay, I do need to find one more crew. I think there is one more crew in the market. I kind of passed her over because. Oh no, I passed her over because she's a mechanic and not a crew member. The rest of these are Visca. So we need to find one more, a gunner specifically, to add to her unit. A veteran. Let's go ahead and make you a sergeant because you're going to lead up that team. Dan's another veteran. I'm going to make her a corporal, but she's probably very quickly. Well, matter of fact, with all those stats, I'm going to make her a sergeant to start with. I still haven't quite finalized my ranking system, but I will be doing that at some point. Admin transport, regular. He's actually better than our old one, or she is. So that's cool. Let's go ahead and make her a corporal. I have a new mechanic here, regular. You're a corporal. I did get 2 more mech warriors with their own mechs. Diane Escobedo is in Griff. Well, I think I gave her that mech. But she looks to be regular 4-4, nothing really extra special about her. I hired her on the 15th, so let's go ahead and make you a corporal. And I believe it was today. It was yesterday. I found this pilot here that brought her own Scout. So welcome aboard. And she has 2 tactics, so she has future command potential. And then we go into the soldiers, and let me sort this by actual soldiers. I need to figure out which one is the best to become leader. Okay, you're potentially Iron Man and Foot Cavalry. You have tactics, but you have really awesome stuff here. Say that again. Foot infantry gain 1 extra 1 MP and allow for foot infantry to move and shoot. Now this is jump platoon. So that doesn't really matter, but man, that's a really nice ability. And I don't think there's a whole lot else here. So I'm going to give the nod to the person with some command experience. She has pain resistance as well, so that doesn't really matter to her. You're a sergeant. And what I like to do is there's squads of 7, so we have a sergeant. You like to have 2 corporals behind him. It'll definitely. Oh, wait a minute, I gave it to the wrong person, didn't I? Back to none. You get the sergeant. You're a corporal. And the other corporal will just be the better of the 2 of these. You have anti-mech, so I will make it you. Everybody else will be a private. Boom. So we have a squad of that. So everything should be more or less ready. I'm going to finish doing some repairs over here. And after 4 days have passed, we're going to start scouting again. First, I need to fix this. 4 times already. What do I need? 4. Target number 4. This is the veteran. Let's go ahead and give you a shot at that. You're already set for that. Target number 7. Don't really love that. You're just going to be there. There we go. Target number 5. I can deal with that. Let's see if those fix. Yeah, we're really low on money. Anything interesting here? It looks like a bunch of mech warriors showed up. You're pretty good with tactics. I don't really need another. Yeah, here. She has a locomotor of 3. She's treacherous. I saw her show up the other day. Like, probably don't need that person. Really see, other than this person with tactics, I don't really see anything else that I really need. So let's go back to the mech repair bay. I think we're still just waiting on stuff to fix, right? Alright, the gyro was fixed on one of the locusts. We have somebody that brings their own mech, so those are always useful. They're regular too, 3-5 jumping jack. That's really good. That's a really good ability. You're hired. It's bring your own mech to work day. That's always pleasant. You'll be a corporal. Okay, now which was this one? So I need to get her on this, get this leg replaced. And everything else, we're still waiting on people to finish up. Oh, I have, oh yeah, unmaintained units. really want more techs. I really, really want more techs. Okay, the cockpit was repaired there. A veteran aerospace pilot. Wow. I don't have need of you yet, but I ain't passing that up. Don't really need the oblique tiger, but the gunnery specialization, energy, tactics, you're hired. I will figure out what to do with you later. Oh, and a mech tech. There we go. I was just saying I want one. You're hired. Oh, and then a vehicle gunner, right? You actually have gunnery vehicle? Wow, it's like Christmas in here. Personnel, aerospace pilot, you're a veteran. I'm going to make you whatever a sergeant is, which I think is a petty officer. I don't know. You're a petty officer right for now. Mech tech, you're going to be a private because you're green. And gunner, to make, well, first I'm going to assign you to a unit as a gunner, tank, light, scorpion, and then we're going to make you probably private first class. All right. And then what did we do over here on the repair bay? Okay, we've cleared out one of the mechs. We're still waiting on 2 mechs to finalize before we can finish off all of that. Check our order of battle. I think we're still waiting on you, and we're waiting 1 day. So let's see. You're cleared out. Things got replaced. Very good. Have a new mechanic. Don't need that. Wouldn't mind a veteran. Got another forest ranger here. You're hired. I need to find a mech for you. We've almost got enough mechs to just make a new lance, to be perfectly frank. Yeah, well, if I unmothball the rifleman, let's activate it. Use you. I can put the new guy in that, and then we'll just generate just kind of a random. It would kind of be a random extra scout lance, which might not be too bad. But as for now, what kind of target numbers we're looking at here? Twos, those are pretty nice. Probably get a private on that. These are the ones that have a little bit more time needed. Actually, I can just do 2 extra time with the elite one here and clear out the Wolverine. And then the Locust, what are you needing? All right. All that's left is the Shadowhawk with its little gimpy arm, but everything is fixed. Everything is ready. So with that being done, let's go into the ATB and let's go ahead and deploy. We should be safe to deploy our recon unit here. Okay, a little bit more of the map. And I should get him back next. I could make him remain deployed. I don't know why I would want to. Oh, and These down here, this is because I'm in GM mode. They're actually kind of cheaty. We don't want to mess with that. Because that wouldn't be all that fun. The rifleman, oh, the activation is complete. So let's go over to personnel. You, sir, are going to be a lieutenant. I guess junior grade's fine. And then I'm going to put you in that rifleman. And we're going to do, what I really need to do is actually create a new company. We're going to have Dodge Company. Why is this rifleman just kind of out on its own? Okay, I'm going to add new forces. Well, I need to just move forces, actually. So I'm going to move Greenhorn, Bison, and the new lance to that. Oh, and also, in so doing, he's now a major. He's going to be basically we're undersized battalion strength. So and this one's going to be called, it's going to be basically another scout lance. So Jackrabbit Lance. And can I? What I really want to do, actually, is I want to put the Wolverine, because if I add unit, we got mechs. Got the Griffin, the Wasp, Oz Scout. And I want this Wolverine down here, or would I rather have the Hermes? Hermes is faster. But this is actually a command mech. So I'm going to remove this unit. I'm going to add it down here. And I'm going to add the rifleman up to here. Then him, I need to remove him from that unit. Move you over there. Then I'm going to move you into the Wolverine. All right, excellent. Check hangar. Everything being maintained properly. It looks like it. Elite mechanic. Okay. So with that, can I go into the order briefing room? I think I can only deploy 3 units. Does that prevent me from actually assigning this as scout? window. So I can assign all of these if I want to. Greenhorn is supposed to be training, and this will be an additional fight. Bison Lance is actually, well, which Lance do I want to actually be? It's not you. You're going to be the actual captain of this Lance. And then the other Lance, Paladin's going to be a major. And who would be, I think Boss Lady is going to be the secondary. So she will get up to captain. All right. Eventually, I will probably move my Lance out and put another one in there to make it more proper order. But for now, let's go ahead. What are these? These tiles are hot urban. Let's go ahead and deploy. Jackrabbit Lance. They didn't see nothing, so let's go ahead and advance a day. I'm not going to pass up a veteran, and I'm not going to pass up a fire javelin. All right, what's this up here? This is a hot sea. Well, we don't want to go into the sea. Let's go ahead and move Jackrabbit Lance over here. And we're going to move Iroquois Lance up this way. Hostile forces detected. Okay, that's going to add a prevent recon scenario. So what do we have here? It looks like they've added Iroquois Lance. Day, no sandstorm, light fog. Otherwise it's hot hills, hot jungle. We would deploy north. Destroy or route 50% of the opposing force within the specified direction or duration. House official, house command officers will deploy alongside you. Enemy patrols, a detail of enemy scout mechs have been spotted in the area. Destroy or route the following enemy forces. The OP4 within at least 8 turns. So the OP4 and the recon and the primaries. 100% of the house officers have to survive, and at least 50% of us have to survive. So this seems like a pretty straightforward battle. Of course, we have Iroquois Lance here, which is... All right, we're going to go ahead and fast forward to today, because I wanted to talk a little bit about this mission that's coming up. We did talk a little bit more about our order of battle. I guess I didn't realize I actually got more in depth with it there at the end, which I guess probably shouldn't surprise me. There are going to be some changes to this. I don't know why I'm leaving Hermes here instead of putting them in like the recon lances. I'm also not entirely sure why I'm so dead set on putting like a Wolverine in the Wolverine lane in this lance as opposed to this lance. Although this is a heavy lance. More than likely, this Wolverine's going to get moved to a different battle lance of some sort, or skirmish lance. I am going to probably start renaming these so that, in accordance with campaign operations, you have specific requirements for different kinds of lances. And they give bonuses. I know when I did the Let's Megamek back the day with the Marlowe Stingrays, I was actually going in and actually putting in those bonuses. I'm not going to put in those bonuses until they actually automate it, when and if they actually automate it through Megamek HQ. But for now, for ease of reference to see at a glance, this is what this is, even though I kind of know, like, Eric Hoy and Jackrabbit are recon lances. But I do want to change that up here quite a bit, actually. Things I've learned. This rifleman will probably die. Who is he? He's some random guy. Oh, I wanted to talk a little bit about the prisoners. I was actually getting into a plot hole here a little bit because I'd already added people. I'm going to go ahead and add these two as they're going to come as a group. But moving forward in future contracts, people that want to defect after we're done. They aren't going to do it mid-campaign because it doesn't make sense. But we're going to just kind of sweep it under the rug and kind of ignore that doesn't make as much sense, and go ahead and just fix this, because I'm going to make a little story reason as to why they do. It's going to be forced, but it is what it is. Where is the change status? Here we are, recruit. And then we'll go ahead and recruit you as well. Get some extra mech warriors. I know someone mentioned that it's nice to have a bunch of extra ones, but we're getting a little bit too crazy here. In fact, this is way crazy. This is something I've wanted to talk to you about as well. I've doubled my company just through basically a little bit through salvage, a little bit. I am very poor now. I've bought a lot of mechs, but I've basically gotten like half a company of mechs just for free through the personnel market. What did I just do? That cannot be. And so what I'm thinking about is one of the things that would fix it is, I don't have a good example here because nobody's in the personnel market, but just let's say this guy had a mech here. We're in the shares options, and the reason I went to shares is because I wanted to simulate, hey, they're sending money back off home. What's happened here is technically, I think it's bugged. I went and asked them if it's bugged, and they said it's bugged, but then what they said was bugged wasn't what the issue I was talking about was. So I don't know if it's bugs or not. But what I'm thinking about doing is going back to the normal way you deal with payment and so forth. Instead of doing shares, go back to the default. What this would do is everybody would have their own mech that they come in with. I would probably, if we change back to this, I will more than likely go back, just whatever mech they currently have, I will set that as their original mech, and we'll just go forward from there. But it would also, when we go to this screen, instead of the mechs being free, I think you pay at least half. So you do kind of get like a little random business. Hey, they're coming in, they got their own mech. It's half price, which is kind of a nice deal, but it isn't so stupid that you're getting 6 mechs for free. I don't like that. So I don't know exactly what other options we would want to do. I'm open to ideas and discussion below. But for now, we don't. I don't want to just not have access to the this market. I also don't know if I should be getting these medics and Aztecs or not, because we have temporary ones. I don't know if. I mean, they would start accruing XP. Let's go ahead and just hire these medics just to have them and see what happens with that. So we got some permanent medics, and we might actually start, some of our dependents when they come of age become Aztecs, and maybe lower the temporary Aztec costs. I'm not sure if this costs us money. I would assume it does. But what else were we wanting to talk about? When I was doing this, I was thinking, hey, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and reinforce. Partially because I didn't like the way this initially set it up. Let's go into the actual briefing room here and go into this. So I reinforced with Sheriff Lance, and I'm going to discuss this here in a minute. But what I was seeing we were fighting was these were two of the I guess kind of like extra mechs, which actually it's a Hermes and Locust, isn't too bad. And the primary air op force is like this. These 8 mechs here. It's like, they're all Stingers and Locusts, but you know they were going up against Iroquois. It isn't a fair fight at all. There's just too much action economy going on here. 10 mechs versus this, and plus we get like one Vulcan here. You know, a good wall. I mean, he's a 1-2 pilot. So I was thinking, well, I'll go ahead and reinforce him, and I kind of wanted to, you know, get a Paladin in action. The problem was, I did it. I reinforced it, and then I went over here, and it's like, well, where's the roll? Because if you'll recall, the last mission, we had a roll, and you had to roll so much to see if you successfully added or not. Otherwise, you have to like spend support points to do it for free. I didn't have any support points. So that was confusing. I didn't think anything of it at the first. And it wasn't until I was starting to do recording and talking to people is they removed our campaign victory point automatically without telling you that they're doing it. We had one and it got removed because it will automatically convert a combat victory point into a support point so that you can do it for free. Whereas I just wanted to do the roll. I wanted to see what would happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into manage CV points. I'm going to add this campaign point back, and I'm going to remove Sheriff Lance from this order of battle. Or try to. If I can figure out how. Undeploy force. Here we go. Okay. Does that change it here? No, it does not. But it should change it here. Hopefully. Yes. The other thing I'm going to do is this is ridiculous. So what it's trying to do is match my BV. Now my BV currently is 3820. So they're actually slightly above, but it's more or less even. But I'm going to go in here and I'm probably going to do this weekend. I'm not going to do this right now, but I'm going to customize this force quite a bit. I might keep like a couple like a Wasp Stinger thing as like a 2 mechs equal 1. But I'm going to like remove a lot of this other stuff and actually get something that is BV appropriate, but it's still more or less a lance I'm fighting. I don't want to deal with like all this overwhelming force I'm constantly fighting, especially with a recon lance. I don't enjoy that. And we're still I'm not going to mess with this. This is going to still stay a Hermes and a Locust. And of course, I'm not going to mess with this. It's going to stay as is as well. But if you have ideas, like we're looking for a BV of approximately 3,900 of what force you'd like me to consider like changing this into. Also, kind of make note of, I'll probably keep these pilots as is, and I'll use a mix. I'll use some of these 3.5 ones. I'll probably use some of these 5.6 ones. But we'll try to average them out across the way. But what patrol force do you think would be fun to fight against? So if I don't hear from you guys or whatever, I'll figure it out myself. But is that everything I wanted to talk about? No, it is not everything I wanted to talk about. Also, I'm adding in one of you guys. One of you guys asked it to be added in, Evil Twin. And here is the portrait I've come up with. And you're going to be taking over for this guy here. I'm actually really excited for this pilot. The Oscil is going to have a narrow profile. It's going to be really nice. He's a decent pilot, and he has the terrain mastery forest ranger. Also, eventually, possibly be an officer later on. But that's going to be a very defensive mech. Really, really good going into forests to fight with. The narrow profile will save him some damage. It's a decent mech. He's a decent pilot. So I'm really looking forward. I obviously haven't changed his information here yet, but I will get that done. Well, I mean, sure, I just removed Sheriff Lance, so I guess we aren't going to see you this battle anyway. But I will get that fixed by the end of the next battle. So, but this is, you know, over here is the portrait I've generated for you. So, if you had any little tweaks onto that, let me know. But this is probably what we're going to go with. I'll write a little bit of a backstory to him, and we'll have some fun with that. But let's see, was there anything else I wanted to talk to you guys about? Probably. But it probably can also wait. So we've dragged this on a little longer than I wanted to, but that's okay. It's been a while since we've recorded. So go ahead and stop here. And until next time, crash and burn.